Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic week. If you've watched my last video or two, you know that our family recently attended Walt Disney World, and today I'm going to be reviewing the character meals that we went to. In this video, I'll be reviewing Crystal Palace, Be Our Guest, Chef Mickey's, and Ohana. First, let's talk about the Crystal Palace. This restaurant is in the Magic Kingdom Park, right on Main Street, USA, near the castle. It's a buffet-style restaurant, and the characters that you'll meet here include Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, and Tigger. It's one sit-down dining credit per person if you're doing the Disney dining plan, and you do get one specialty drink or alcoholic beverage included. This was probably my least favorite character meal we attended. It was still fun, but I just felt like some of the cons were it was very crowded and loud. There were lots of small children here, which isn't a problem, but at the end of the day, you know, everyone's usually tired and fussy, and if you're hungry, there can be some situations. So I just felt like it was loud, kind of crowded. The servers, I felt like, seemed very stressed here, which rightfully so. They're doing their best to get everyone taken care of and fed, and to get those characters to the table, but it just seemed a little bit overwhelming. Another con, I think, is that it's a buffet. You know, I don't really have anything against a buffet, except if you have small kids, you're probably going to have to help them get food, and then you're going to have to go back and get yourself food. And just in this kind of crowded, chaotic environment, it was a little bit much. Also, if you're up at the buffet, there's potential that you could miss some of the characters coming by. Since the Crystal Palace is a larger restaurant, it can take up to 90 minutes for the characters to get to you, and you're probably going to only see each one once. So, you know, if you're up at the buffet and you miss those characters, that could be rather devastating for your little ones. For all those reasons, I typically prefer the character meals that are served family style, or the ones where you can actually order off a menu and the server will bring you your food. Some pros at the Crystal Palace. The food was pretty good. They had good options for our kiddos. They had chicken nuggets, mini corn dogs, macaroni and cheese, and the adult food was pretty good too. So I really can't complain about that. They had a meat carving station, and just lots and lots of options. If you have food allergies or anything like that, the chefs are more than happy to come out and go through the buffet line with you to go through what foods are safe for you to eat, and I even actually saw that happening with a customer while I was there, so I was super impressed by that. Also at the Crystal Palace, there is the possibility for fireworks viewing right from your table. Like I said, it's very close to the castle, so if you're sitting near the window at the Crystal Palace, you may be able to see the fireworks from inside. Or you can go right outside and view the fireworks when they start, but just remember that it's probably going to be crowded and you can't view the fireworks from just anywhere. They have designated areas taped off, so you can only stand, you know, like on one side of most of the walkways. You aren't going to be able to sit or stand on any of the stairways. They have to keep the entrances and exits to all the buildings free and clear for fire safety reasons. And, you know, they do have plenty of staff out there kind of ushering you away from the areas that you can't stand or stop to watch the fireworks from. And you are guaranteed that you'll be able to see each of the characters. But like I said earlier, it could take a full 90 minutes for them to make their rounds and get to your table. When we were seated, Tigger had just been by our table, and it did take almost a full 90 minutes for him to make it back. So just keep that in mind if you're in a hurry. that may not be the best character dining for you, or just plan ahead and know that you're going to have to be there probably at least an hour and a half to meet and greet all the characters. They will take pictures, spend time with your child or children, and they will do autographs. So overall, I think there probably are better character meals than the Crystal Palace, but if you have a Winnie the Pooh lover, this one would probably be worth your while. Next, let's talk about Ohana. Ohana is over at the Polynesian Resort, and I really, really enjoyed this one. It's served family style, so they will bring the food out to your table. You don't have to go up to a buffet. You'll get to meet Lilo and Stitch, as well as Polynesian Beach Mickey. The meal is 1 Disney sit-down dining credit on the meal plan. To start, they will seat you with a pineapple coconut sweetbread, which is really good. And then they have a special tropical fruit juice that's also really good as well. And then they will start serving your family. They'll bring out skillets that are full of scrambled eggs, Mickey waffles. They were really, really good. They have ham, Polynesian potatoes, and sausages, and it's all really good. And they will bring out as many skillets as you can possibly eat. It is all you can eat, and it is absolutely wonderful. Again, all the characters will come around to your table and greet your family. Ohana isn't quite as big as the Crystal Palace, so it didn't take near the 90 minutes for us to greet all 3 of the characters that are available there. The characters will take pictures and they will sign autographs. And afterwards, we even got to meet Pluto outside. He was doing a special meet and greet there, so we got to get pictures and autographs with Pluto as well. Ohana was a total must-do for us because we have a Stitch lover. It was so special to see our little guy just light up when he got to meet Stitch and get a big hug from him and have his picture taken and get his autograph. He was so excited, and I highly recommend Ohana, especially for breakfast. Okay, so let's move on to Chef Mickey's. Chef Mickey's is the only place where you can meet the Fab Five all together. That's Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy, and they all convene together at Chef Mickey's. So you can imagine that Chef Mickey's is a pretty popular and hard to get reservation. When you're making those reservations, probably start with this one or start with any of your character meals first that you really want to get, because they will go the quickest. And Chef Mickey's is 1 sit-down credit on the dining plan. Chef Mickey's is buffet style. So again, for the reasons I listed before, I don't prefer the buffet style meal. I think it's just much more relaxing when they bring the food to you rather than you going up to get it. The evening that we were scheduled to go to Chef Mickey's, I was feeling kind of under the weather, so I didn't get to participate, but my family did a great job of getting some footage for me and sharing their experience, and I think they had a great time. Overall, they said the food was pretty good. When you first arrive at Chef Mickey's, they'll take a picture of your whole party in front of their big plate, and then you'll be seated, and the characters will come around to the table for autographs and pictures, just like they do at the other character meals. And at Chef Mickey's, they even put on a little show. I recommend Chef Mickey's mostly for the characters, but I think there are better character meals to be had at Disney World. It was super convenient for us too, because it was actually in our hotel. We stayed at the Contemporary, so stay tuned in the next couple weeks for a review on the Contemporary. We really enjoyed staying there, but Chef Mickey's is on the 4th floor of the Contemporary, so it was super easy for us to get there and made sense for us to eat there. And I saved the best for last. Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest was the favorite character meal that we attended. It was the best food and the best service that we experienced during a character meal at Walt Disney World. This one is cool because you actually get to eat inside the Beast Castle. And if you go to dinner like we did, you get to meet the Beast. Dinner is on the steep side at 2 sit-down dining credits per person, but if you go for breakfast or lunch, it'll only run you 1 quick service credit. But you don't get to meet the Beast. This is a super hard reservation to get for dinner, so if you're interested in this one, be sure and book it as soon as you can. Remember, that's 180 days prior to your arrival. We were seated in the main dining room, and since it was Christmas time, everything was decorated for the holidays, and it was truly, truly magical. They even had snow falling outside the windows. Even though we were seated in a certain room, we were invited to view each of the dining rooms. That's all 3 of the dining rooms. And then we got to meet the Beast in his study after we ate. The line for the Beast was super short, and the boys were very excited to meet him. But some kids can be kind of hesitant, so just keep that in mind if you have a younger kid or someone that is scared of the Beast. You will get your picture with the Beast, and he'll interact with you, but he does not do autographs. He's still learning to use a pen. Also, during dinner at regular intervals, the Beast will walk through the dining rooms, all 3 of them, and he probably came through 3 or 4 times while we were there. The menu is prefixed for dinner, which just means you get to pick from a few options for each course. You get an appetizer, an entree, and then the standard dessert, which is pretty awesome. For the appetizer, Logan and I both got the French onion soup, and it was really, really good and super pretty. And then the boys got the fruit and cheese platter, and I think they enjoyed most of that. And we got a little sample of the cheeses and stuff too, and they were really good. For the main course, Logan got the scallops and I got the filet. Both were very good. My steak was cooked to perfection, and we really enjoyed the meal. You can also add scallops, an order of scallops, to any entree for $8. The boys weren't super excited about anything on the menu. They had already had a lot of mac and cheese. But the server was very accommodating, and they both ended up getting grilled cheese, which wasn't on the menu. So that was super, super helpful. So just remember, when you're at Disney World, the servers and cast members will make accommodations when they can. So just ask. But if they say no, then, the answer is no. The desserts were super fun and delicious. The kids' desserts were really creative. They got a little paintbrush with their macaroon and chip little cup, and they got to paint their macaroon and chip cup with the edible paint. The adult desserts were just kind of a grown-up version of the kid desserts. We got a macaroon and then a little white chocolate casting of Chip, the little teacup from the Beauty and the Beast movie, and he was super delicious. And of course, the gray stuff. You can't go to be our guest and eat at the Beast Castle without trying the gray stuff. And it was actually pretty good. It didn't have a super major flavor, but it was good. On the adult dessert tray, even the little paper that was underneath everything was edible. It was made of sugar and you could eat it. I don't think it tasted very good, but I thought it was super creative that they made the little paper edible. And it was really pretty too. Overall, it was a very nice meal, and they really go the extra mile to make sure that you're enjoying yourself. It is rather expensive if you're not on the dining plan, and even if you are, it is 2 sit-down dining credits. They do include alcoholic beverages, so I had a glass of wine with mine, and I think Logan had a soda. And the server actually let us know, since you're using 2 sit-down dining credits, you can actually get 2 drinks per person at that meal, since they're charging you the 2 dining credits. And again, I appreciated the service and not having to go up to the buffet to get our food. And everything was just very elegant and nice, and we had a great time. My tips for this one are: book early. It's going to be a hard reservation to get, so be on top of it and get that booking in as soon as you can. And then also be on time or ahead of time to your reservation. They won't let you check in till 10 or 15 minutes ahead of your reservation time, but you don't want them to give your table away. And to check in, you may have to stand in line for just a bit. So make sure you allow plenty of time for that and get there when you need to be there. And come hungry. It is plenty of food and it's all very good, so be sure to bring your appetite. I think any room is really fine to sit in. The west wing is the smallest room, so you may get more up-close interaction with the beast when he walks through. The middle main dining room is in the middle, so you're going to get to see the beast a couple times each time he makes his rounds. It is the biggest room, so you could be farther away from him, but he will walk through more times in that room. When you check in for your reservation, you can request to sit in a certain dining room, but just keep in mind that it is just a request, so they could say no, or they may ask you if you want to wait longer to sit in a particular room. So there you have it. That's my rundown of character meals that we attended at this trip to Walt Disney World. There are plenty other character dining options, but these are just the ones that we attended. Have you done any character dining experiences at Walt Disney World? If so, drop them down in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. There are tons of options, and I don't know if I'll ever get to Cinderella's royal table or the royal table for a dining experience with all my boys. So I'd love to hear about that one. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hang around a while and ring that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload. I upload new videos every single Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Time, so I hope to see you here next week. And be sure and follow us on all of our social media platforms. I'll put them up on the screen here and in the description box below, but I'd love to connect with you. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. See you next week. Bye.